that we wouldn't necessarily see in another situation. So documenting our impact, we had kind of a question mark around this as well, because it was how do we know we're having an impact before we can really document it. But we decided that the best strategy was really to document what your desired outcomes are from your game, and then to develop your assessment tools so that they represent the outcomes you're going after. There's as well as qualitative and quantitative assessment metrics that should be used on the game. So coding kind of student responses on survey data, as well as actually looking at is there any measurable outcomes you can get in quantitative data for that. And then finally, in terms of scaling up, one of our key questions was, what do you mean by scaling up? So what dimensions of scale up are we looking at? Is it within a class? Is it within an institution? Is it talking about taking the game online as like an app that can be downloaded? So there's all different degrees of scale up. And then we found that, especially in our affinity group with the work we've been doing, it's really still early to develop what best methods we could use for scale up in the future. All right, so now getting you into our game that we have developed for you. So we'd like you to meet Natalie Forrester, and hopefully you're paying attention to her name. We put a lot of thought into this name, so there's like an encoding in there. So Natalie Forrester, for all of you, has just completed her postdoc in engineering. She's received a patent for some of her postdoc work, and she's married and has one young child. So she is moving on into the tenure track realm as an assistant professor. And you guys have the chance today to shape her future, so this is really important. So what I want you guys to do now is we're evaluating Natalie Forrester and her success on 3 parameters. So we want to know what percentage you want to allot. Remember, percentages have to add up to 100%. So how much fame do you want her to have in her career? How much happiness do you want her to have in her career? And how much money would you like Natalie Forrester to make? So right now I want you guys to all write down on a piece of paper so that you can't change it afterwards, your percentage. So how much percentage fame, how much percentage happiness, how much percentage money do you want Natalie Forrester to have based on her career decisions? Make a note of that now. Yes. Yes, in this categorization, happiness is independent of the fame and the money criteria. Yes, it's an independent metric.
We can define all of it.
All right, so does everyone have their paper with their notation down? All right. Fame,
happiness, and money.
Yeah. Fame, happiness, and money need to total 100%. All right, so once you have written that down, you need to start paying attention to the people around you, because the decisions you make with your clickers moving forward are influencing Natalie Forrester's career path. Your goal is you want your parameters to win out. So you need to talk to the people around you and try to convince them to vote how you think she should decide in order to reflect the decisions you made. Okay, so it's kind of like you have to get with your neighbors and convince them that this is the way you want to go, because I really think that this way will lead to more fame for Natalie, and I want her to have high fame in her career path. All right.
You don't have to reveal to your neighbors what your particular numbers were, but you want to discuss and try to influence their
decision making. So collaboration. All right. All right, you guys ready for the first question? All right. First question, which type of institution should Natalie choose to work at as an assistant professor in the tenure track? Should she go to an R1 research university, a teaching university, or it doesn't matter where she goes as long as she's close to family? What choice should she make in her career at this point? Remember, she does have a child. She is married, though, so she has the support of her spouse. All right, so you're supposed to talk to each other and influence each other. Remember, what choices are going to actually give you back the best impact? Okay, do you want to give them like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to, yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so everyone needs to vote. All right. You have decided that she doesn't care where she's going, but she's going to be close to her family. Okay, that's an interesting choice. Okay, so moving forward, the next choice she needs to make in her career path. Remember again, you were trying to convince your neighbors to vote so that you can get your percentages to win in the end. Okay, the next question she needs to figure out is what type of class. So part of her package she got was the choice of which class she wanted to teach. So these are the choices she has. None of them are developed. What does she want to do? You can. Which one are you feeding? All right, you ready for the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? We're still really good.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. So you have decided.
NA is proud of you.
Okay, so she's going to be teaching a graduate seminar at an institution that's close to her family. Okay, so going on, the next decision point you have. What type of proposals should she be focusing her efforts on? Should she be doing the NSF research grant? Should she investigate nonprofit funding for a service project? Or with the patent that she got from her postdoc work, go and pursue a small business innovation research grant? Where should she focus her attention? Remember, you want to get your percentages of fame, happiness, and money. Convince your neighbor to vote the way you want them to. You're gonna phase the thing. All right, you ready?
Four.
Decided that she is split, but NSF research grant just barely won that with 48%. So I guess that patent is not going to work out for her at this point in time. Okay, so the last decision you have to make for Natalie Forrester today. An important conference has come up. She has a young child. The child's not in school yet. So does she decide that she attends this conference that's on the other side of the country by herself? Does she attend and decide to bring her family with her? Or does she stay at home? What choice should she make in terms of her career? In order to get the fame, happiness, and money, what should she do? You ready with your 5, 4, 3?
4.
Has decided by majority to attend by herself, so she has left her young child alone at home, hopefully with her husband. And then she has gone off to the conference. Okay, so now what we're going to tell you about while we're calculating the responses to see what the final outcome from this game is and what you have decided for Natalie's life. These are some of the potential solution space that you could have got while playing this game. So the fame maximizer profile would have resulted in a 50% fame outcome, 21% happiness, and 29% money. A happiness maximizer profile would have had 21% fame, 50% happiness, 29% money. The money maximizer profile, 29% fame, 33% happiness, and 38% money. And then we had two profiles. So if you were trying to gear all of her decisions towards a research-oriented profile, you would have got 42% fame, 25% happiness, and 33% money. But then the idealist teacher profile, as we know, always results in lower money. So she'd have 35% fame, 48% happiness, but unfortunately only 17% in terms of money.
All right, and I'm here to announce the final results, which are incredible, actually. I don't think I predicted it. It's 33.33% for fame, 33.33% for happiness, and 33.33% for money. I don't know how you did it, but great job.
All right, and we just wanted to end with a few quick debrief questions. So we wanted to see, in general, as the audience, did you guys feel yourself to be invested in what happened to Natalie while you were making these decisions? Were you kind of like thinking about, if I was in Natalie's shoes, what would I do in this type of situation in order to get the outcome? Does anyone want to share their input on that?
Well, I mean, maybe this is very specific to this context, but I felt really anxious about the assumptions that were being made by the people who put together the game. I've seen a lot of people have kids. It doesn't necessarily lead to happiness.
And the other kind of debriefing questions we had were, what did you learn about being an assistant professor in the tenure track from this game? Did you guys kind of start conceptualizing differences between teaching versus research versus location? You guys have any thoughts you'd like to share?
Research doesn't lead to happiness.
And then overall, our real goal with this activity was really to get you more involved in the content that you were learning. So to actually be engaged in the process, invested in the storyline and characters, and we feel that that actually makes students more dedicated to trying to get to the answer of these problems. So we'll just leave you with this quote today. So much can be learned in play that will afterwards be of use when the circumstances demand it. And we're open to any questions.
So when you go about designing questions for a teaching activity like this, I mean, how do you get beyond all of those assumptions? I mean, I also felt several times that I knew what the right answer was for what I had predicted, but I totally disagreed with that being the path to happiness.
So I think it's kind of, with games, you really need to watch your assumptions and what you're making in terms of your storyline, but I think you have to be true to the characters you are creating. So you kind of have to be true to what you want them to embody and what characteristics you want them to show the students, and that kind of gets blended into your game design. I also think by working with true game designers, they can really help with how to create that solution space so there's not a whole pile of inherent assumptions that you're making that would either make the game way too easy or make the game way too hard so that the students don't actually have fun playing it.